The media, celebrities, and politicians are absolutely butchering the story of this police-involved shooting in Columbus, Ohio. I want to show you some of the insane things they're saying, like LeBron James' tweet that he's now deleted, and the White House's response, and some of these other celebrities and politicians when they went on record having no idea what they were talking about. This all happens because media outlets and all the rest, these influencers, can't wait 5 minutes until the actual details come in. Instead, they go nuts immediately when they hear about one of these incidents. They don't wait for the details. They inflame the local populace. Protests start. People start to get angry. And all of it happens without anyone seeming to care about what this is doing to our society. I want to take down the temperature a little bit, and I want to tell you what everybody got wrong. And I want to show you some of the things that they were saying that were very, very much out there and see if we can come together a little bit on this. What you're seeing right now is a still frame from the body cam footage of the shooting and killing of Ma'Khia Bryant. She's right there in the black shirt directly in front of us here, right here. She has a knife in her right hand. You could very clearly see it. She has already stabbed this person right here in the blue or the green here, right against the camera. And she went after them aggressively and then stabbed them. And then is now heading over here to the person pinned against the car. You see the hand outstretched. The officer who shows up, this is the body cam footage from that officer, says, stop, says, no. If there's not a case for an officer intervening and saving lives and using lethal force against somebody, I don't know where you're going to find it. It's like you have to be obtuse to look at this and say, well, he should have tased her. He should have done this. He should have done that. And the taser is a pretty good distance away. This is not a situation for a taser to begin with, but he could have missed with that, and then you have somebody possibly dead here. Because look what's happening. We're about to be in a situation where she thrust this knife further into this girl's body, and some of them were stabbed in this. Now, you see after the officer fires the shots, she hits the ground. The knife, which appears to be a large kitchen knife, drops next to her on the ground. We don't really need the Monday morning quarterback. What if the police had a special net weapon that they shot out and captured people so everybody could be safe? This is not a utopian society, unfortunately. There are situations where officers have to respond with deadly force. I'm being honest with you, this seems like one of them right here. Maybe you disagree, let me know, or maybe you agree, put that in the comments. Here's Judith Brown Dionis. Judith Brown Dionis is a racial justice movement lawyer. She probably gets Google alerts for stories like this. So she was on it. But did she wait? Did she take a deep breath? Did she gather the facts and make sure she wasn't reporting stuff and saying stuff that wasn't true? No, she tweeted. A 15-year-old black girl killed by a Columbus, Ohio cop today. She called 911 for protection. Baby girl is dead. She's laying in the street wearing rainbow Crocs. Shoes my daughter wears, just a baby, broken hearts. One thing that happens in a lot of these is they always try to equate it to their daughter or their son, like an emotional tie-in. But when you look at this, you're probably going to forget about those emotions because we have an attacker on the loose with a knife. You're the cop. What do you do? You're the cop in this situation. What do you do? Let's go to some of the things that people said. Here's the officer that was in this video that fired the shots. And we have a tweet right here from LeBron James, at King James on Twitter. You're not going to find this on his account right now because he deleted it. He said, "You're next," all caps, with a timer. The sand is running out of the timer. Hashtag accountability. To millions and millions and millions of people on Twitter. Could mean a couple of things. Could be a threat to this guy and say, hey, go get him. Here he is. Here's your man. Find him on the streets. Could mean, oh, you're next. Accountability like we got in the George Floyd case. Accountability? What about the people he saved? What about this woman on the ground right here that is already stabbed? What about the person against the car that's already stabbed? By the way, the guy in the hoodie kicks one of these people while they're down before yelling at the cop for shooting and killing a person who was on a stabbing spree. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So you had Kobe Bryant post that, or I'm sorry, LeBron James, post that, and then take it down afterwards. Let's see what else was posted out there. Well, here is an interview with Ma'Khia Bryant's mother, who is very bizarre. She does not live with her mother. She is in foster care in the child of custody services, or in the custody of child services. And here's her mom talking about her in a way that doesn't really line up with reality.
Ma'Khia was named after a male prophet in the Bible. She was a very loving, peaceful little girl. She was 16 years old. She was an honor roll student. And Micaiah had a motherly nature about her. She promoted peace. And that's something that I want to always be remembered.
Peace. She promoted peace. We'll flash back to that. Yes. It just is not lining up necessarily with what's going on. Then her aunt comes to the scene, starts screaming at the reporters. Don't report anything unless you're going to report what I say. And they dutifully did it. They reported what the mother said and what the aunt said about what happened on this scene. Do you know who wasn't there when any of this happened? The mother and the aunt. Yet all of these stories were based on their experiences and their reporting. They said she was getting beat up by some girls and she called 911. They said she was in this house under attack and called for help. They said she had a knife at some point, but she threw it down before the officer arrived, and yet she was still shot by the police officer. None of that appears to be true. Why don't people care about this? It's splitting us in half. Here's the Columbus Dispatch. Franklin County Children's Services confirmed on Tuesday night that the girl killed was 16-year-old Micaiah Bryant. She was in foster care and in the custody of Children's Services. Police received a 911 call at 4:35 about an attempted stabbing on their block. The caller was saying a female was trying to stab them, and the caller hung up. Some of the other reporting, they then identified the police officer who shot and killed her. They ran some 911 calls. I'll play that for you in just a moment, and released some more body camera footage. The footage is very clear. It shows, especially when you watch it in slow motion, you see what is happening, what is unfolding in front of you, and then you see people responding afterwards in a very irrational way. It doesn't seem like any of it makes sense. It seems like these people are just taking it in and using it to justify their priors. So then we go to the White House. Here's Jen Psaki at the White House tackling this shooting and killing of this 16-year-old in Columbus, Ohio. Here she goes.
The killing of 16-year-old Micaiah Bryant by the Columbus police is tragic. She was a child. We're thinking of her friends and family and the communities that are hurting and grieving her loss. We know that police violence disproportionately impacts Black and Latino people in communities, and that Black women and girls, like Black men and boys, experience higher rates of police violence. We also know that there are particular vulnerabilities that children in foster care like Micaiah face. And her death came, as you noted, just as America was hopeful of a step forward after the traumatic and exhausting trial of Derek Chauvin.
Okay, there you go. This is Jen Psaki talking. Why is it that everybody that I've presented to you so far only sees one victim in this snapshot? The one victim they see is the aggressor, the person who's trying to kill other people. They're saying, police, because of racist reasons, there's absolutely no evidence that that's in play here, are killing people like Micaiah Bryant because of racism structurally in the police department. They're saying that, this is also because she's in a foster home. All of these people were in a foster home. All of those people were people of color. And she's trying to kill two of them. Why is it's not being looked at as the police officer came and rescued two women who were in the middle of being stabbed? We continue because there's just so much to get to here. Here is the 911 call. Let's go to this.
911, where's your emergency?
Hello? It's 3171. Lead your way.
Is there an apartment number letter?
You can hear all the chaos.
What's going on?
Come up here. The
Amy, you
address
can talk to me.
is 3171. We got these grown girls over here trying to fight us, trying to stop us, trying to put our hands on our grandma. Get her now.
They said this girl's over here trying to stab us, trying to put her hands on us, trying to fight us. And then you show up to the scene, and there's Micaiah Bryant with a knife, and she actively is stabbing these two people. It's very likely that it's actually the other two girls, one of the other two girls who dialed 911 not once but twice. We took the information from a mother who wasn't there when this happened. We still don't quite know, but they've already rushed to judgment on all of this stuff. Here's the details that we do know about the 911 call. And the 911 call placed at 4:32 p.m., screaming can be heard as the caller asks police to come and says somebody's trying to stab them. Well, only one person had a knife in the video you saw. The police dispatcher tries to get more information. They're screaming before the call is disconnected. A second 911 call placed at 4:48 p.m. resulted in the caller hanging up after seeing a police cruiser on the scene. These are the people who called the officer who arrived on the scene to find them getting stabbed by the girl they very likely called 911 on. They all got it so wrong. Valerie Jarrett says she used to work in the Obama administration as a senior advisor. This is not some nobody. This is not some rando on Twitter. It's a blue check. Valerie Jarrett, a black teenage girl named Ma'Khia Bryant, was killed because a police officer immediately decided to shoot her multiple times in order to break up a knife fight. Demand accountability, fight for justice, Black Lives Matter. A knife fight? My God! You know what this is missing to be a knife fight? Someone else with a knife. This isn't a knife fight. It's an attack. These people are being attacked. No one is seeing this in the celebrity world, the media world, or the world of these politicians as it is. And it's unbelievable that they seem to be so clueless about it. Here's somebody on Twitter, Wyatt Reed, says, bystander video shows the aftermath of the killing of 15-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant by Columbus police. Apparently, she called the cops for help, but they killed her. Then they taunted neighbors and family members by saying, quote, Blue Lives Matter. Let me show you the anatomy of a lie spreading. Here we go. This is the video that he refers to.
Yeah, so.
All right, Blue Lives Matter was just said by this guy with the camera. He appears to see a Blue Lives Matter flag on one of the police cars. Nobody has said this. Nobody has said anything. He's just seen it on a police car.
Yep.
Insult, especially at this place right now.
Yeah, it's definitely an insult. You sound stupid as fuck, bitch. Fuck.
That flag is a Blue Lives Matter flag.
The fuck, that girl just got shot. Did he just say that? He said, well, Blue Lives Matter? He just said that? Boy, shut the fuck up, because Blue Lives don't matter right now. I don't want to hear none of that dumb shit. The fuck.
All right, so you hear going on and on. She turned it into, he just said Blue Lives Matter. It's something that they saw on one of these vehicles, as best I can guess, and turned it into a moment that it wasn't. There is so much misinformation, and it's causing a lot of problems. Deep breath, calm down, do some investigation. See tweets like this. This was trending on Twitter. They took Dylan Roof to a Burger King after he murdered 9 black people. Burger King. But you can't apprehend somebody with a knife when you don't even know what the effing situation is. Just get out of your car and start shooting. F you, says @AngryBlackLady. And I want to nip this one in the bud if I can here, because every time there's something like this, they bring up Dylan Roof and Burger King. Dylan Roof is a horrid white supremacist who deserves to spend every last waking moment behind bars in jail for the rest of his life. And he is to be derided on all occasions. But this is nonsense, okay? Quite frankly, this is nonsense. Here's where it comes from. A Charlotte Observer article, 3 days after the shooting, I believe, said, in Shelby, the FBI handled Roof's initial questioning. They said Shelby police, their lone conversation with the mass murder suspect was about food. Earlier in the day, Roof had bought water and chips at a Charlotte gas station. Now he was hungry. Police brought him food from a nearby Burger King. The FBI took over the questioning. They go on to say that might be the last Whopper Roof ever eats. Still, forgive me for not understanding why they thought it was their duty to assuage his hunger. So because NOLA.com wrote that, people started to say they took him to Burger King. They didn't take Dylan Roof to Burger King. And then they'd say, well, why did they get him Burger King? You have to do this, okay? This is a criminal lawyer practicing in South Carolina. Was the accused offered food, water, or allowed bathroom breaks? Was the accused deprived of food or sleep during the interrogation while he's in custody? The moment someone in custody that is being interrogated asks for food, you have to do your best to get the food for that person. They had to do it. It was the reasonable response of the police officers to get Dylan Roof the Burger King. So stop it with that stuff. And stop it with this stuff. People are mourning Ma'Khia Bryant through TikTok, styling their hair like her. She was stabbing people. How did everybody get it so wrong? How did the media, the politicians, the celebrities, how did they get it so wrong? And why can't people just wait? Wait a little bit. I didn't do a video last night about this because I didn't know what the details were. I watched the press conference live. I watched them release the body camera footage. I waited. It's responsible to do so. But all these media outlets, not just in Columbus, South Carolina, but all over the country, ran with this, with information from the mother and the aunt who were not there when it happened. And what they said was not accurate, as far as anybody can tell. There luckily haven't been any violent responses to this just yet, or any responses to LeBron James' tweet about all of this and the accountability therein, or anybody doing anything other than talking about stuff on social media. But it can explode. It can be poisonous. And it's really bad for our society. It needs to stop. Take a minute. Report things that are facts. Wait for the details to come in. Don't completely crumble in front of the activists who are demanding that you do stuff according to the way that they want it done, to their ends as activists, and not as journalists or whatever your job is. Sometimes you have to be brave to tell the truth, and I think we need to see a lot more of that out there, because this is just a real shame. This officer, to me, acted within a split second to determine what the best response was. And so I'll ask you again, right here in his shoes, what do you do in this moment? Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the follow button over on Facebook, facebook.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit that follow button for videos just like this every single day. Over on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and get those same videos if you're on that platform. And you can follow @thenewsjunkie wherever you are. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sharing, and I appreciate your comments, whether you agree or disagree. I promise you on that. We'll talk to you again real soon.